so I've just finished the first of the 6 paintings, the little orange one, and now I'm going to move on to the second one. I'm trying to paint as many of these as I can so I can get to editing them faster and waste a bit less time. So I shall now choose the colour, commence the next painting. Now. Okay, after the orange painting, I wanted to push the boat out a little bit, so with purple, I decided to add a proper background and put a little more effort into the creature design. I'm not sure if it's a mix of sci-fi or fantasy, either or both, but I went with a snail, octopus, bartender, because I could. I don't know what more you expect of me. But Snocktopus, the Snocktopus bartender is a very lovely chap. You've come here, you've come for a drink. I designed him more with the red violet, if you're going by that colour wheel I used, more of like a warm purple, more of like a pinker or cherrier one. Simply because warmer colours, they pop out a bit more from the background, so he's become the primary focus of the painting and helps him contrast a little more with the cooler shades of blue or purple that I've used behind him for the shelves and the bar itself. I'm not sure if you know this, since I don't tend to use it often, but purple is my favourite colour, and so working on this painting was pretty much a dream. It helps that for once in my life, when it comes to straight lines, I started using a ruler, which, you know, really helps when the entirety of your furniture has straight lines and no curves whatsoever, though I did admittedly freehand the bottles. But I've learned it's fine to freehand or not draw as detailed on objects that don't matter. The bottles aren't of any relevance to the image apart from simply illustrating the fact that this is a working bar. So I can freehand and lose details on those while still retaining focus on the Snocktopus in the foreground. One thing I wasn't sure of and probably should have looked at before starting this piece was where the lighting was coming from. Seeing as there is no natural light and bars and, you know, nightclubs, all that sort of thing, usually have quite an aesthetic array of lighting behind or in front of and by the sides of the bar, I basically had no idea what I was doing, so I've semi-ignored it. Perhaps the lighting can just be ambiently coming from both the back and the front, but it's something to look at for later attempts at painting, though to be honest, I'm not really that bothered by it. I think I was just so happy to be going in with the colours as they were and just letting the rest of the piece speak for itself, that the overall effect turned out fine. Another thing I made sure to do in this painting was, unlike the previous orange painting where I was purely using black ink and black fine liners, in this one I only used black fine liners on the Snocktopus himself, and I used light grey on the area behind him and also for the bar, as I've found that less intense lines means that those elements fade a little more into the background as they're not the main focus. The high contrast of the black fine liners means that this is where the important things are, and that's where the eye is naturally drawn. And that's why I also tend to vary the thickness of my lines as well. The thickness of the lines adds a little bit more dynamism, despite the fact that all our dear bartender is doing is polishing the bar and asking with his eyes if he'd like a drink. I'm considering turning these paintings into prints at some point on my shop. Please let me know if you're interested, if you want it as a zine or stickers or anything. I'm very, very open to suggestions currently. Alright, I'm going to leave this voiceover here. Thank you so much for watching this video. The next colour in this little mini-series will be blue. Please remember to click the like button and smash that subscribe and all that yada yada. I shall see you some other time. Goodbye and thank you.